Blackwood Heights stood at the edge of the city like a burned corpse that refused to fall apart. 15 years earlier, a fire had torn through the apartment building, killing dozens of tenants. After that night, the place was abandoned. Windows stayed black. The walls were stained with soot. People avoided even driving past it after dark. Ethan didn't care about the rumors. He needed money. That was why, at 11:47 p.m. on a cold October night, he stood outside the massive building preparing for his first shift as the new night security guard. Inside the lobby, dust floated through the air like ash. An old man sat behind the front desk smoking a cigarette. He barely looked at Ethan when he handed him a key. "The security room is downstairs," the man said. Ethan nodded and turned to leave, but the old man stopped him. "If you see anything on floor 9, he said quietly, "ignore it." Ethan laughed nervously. "What's on floor 9? The old man stared at him for several seconds before answering. "Nothing." Then he leaned closer. "And if you hear knocking, don't open the door." The basement security room was small and smelled like mildew. A wall of old security monitors flickered in the darkness, showing empty hallways and broken stairwells throughout the building. For the first hour, nothing happened. Then one of the screens crackled with static. "Camera 9A." A hallway on floor 9 appeared on the screen. At the far end of the corridor stood a woman. She wasn't moving. Her long dark hair covered her face completely. Ethan frowned and leaned closer to the monitor. Floor 9 was supposed to be sealed off after the fire. He switched to another camera for a moment, then switched back. The woman was closer now. Ethan froze. He stared at the screen, his heartbeat beginning to rise. Then the intercom crackled beside him. A child's voice whispered through the static. "Don't let her find you." Ethan jumped back. The voice came again, softer this time. "Don't let her find you." He grabbed the desk phone and called the building manager. "There's someone on floor 9, Ethan said. For a moment there was only silence on the other end. Then the old man spoke. "Do not go up there." "Who is she?" Ethan asked. The old man's breathing became shaky. "She isn't a she anymore." The line went dead. A loud knock suddenly echoed outside the security room door. Ethan turned toward it. Another knock followed. Slow. Heavy. He quickly checked the hallway camera outside the room. Nobody was there. Then something on the monitors caught his attention. Camera 9A had changed again. Ethan's blood turned cold. The screen showed a man walking through the hallway on floor 9. The man was wearing Ethan's clothes. It was Ethan. But he was still sitting inside the security room. On the screen, the other Ethan slowly turned toward the camera and smiled. Ethan stumbled backward in horror. Breathing heavily, he searched through old files scattered around the security room, hoping to distract himself from what he had seen. Inside a dusty cabinet, he found old newspaper clippings about the fire. Most of them talked about missing tenants and unexplained deaths before the fire even happened. Then he found an old photograph. A group of tenants standing together in the lobby. And among them was the woman from floor 9. Ethan's hands began shaking. He recognized her immediately. It was his mother, Lena Carter. The same woman who vanished when he was 7 years old. His stomach twisted. That was impossible. His mother disappeared decades before the fire. Suddenly the monitor behind him crackled again. Ethan slowly turned around. The woman on camera 9A had lifted her head. Her face was burned beyond recognition. Blackened skin stretched across her mouth and eyes. But somehow Ethan still recognized her. And then she spoke. "Ethan." His blood froze. He backed away from the monitors and accidentally knocked over a small box hidden beneath the desk. VHS tapes spilled across the floor. One of them was labeled "Subject Testing, Children." Hands trembling, Ethan inserted the tape into an old television player nearby. Static filled the screen before grainy footage appeared. Doctors walked through long white hallways. Patients were strapped to beds screaming. A man in a lab coat spoke directly into the camera. Sleep deprivation test phase 3 beginning. Another clip showed children sitting inside dark rooms. One little boy looked up at the camera crying. Ethan stopped breathing. The child was him. Another voice spoke from behind the camera. Memory suppression successful. Ethan backed away slowly. Blackwood Heights was never just an apartment building. It was an experiment. People had been tortured there, used for psychological testing. And the fire. The fire had been started to erase everything. The lights in the security room suddenly began flickering violently. Every monitor changed at once. Now each screen showed Ethan standing in different parts of the building, watching himself, smiling. The clocks on the wall stopped ticking. 3:13 a.m. Then every monitor went black. Except one. Camera 9A. The woman stood inches from the camera now. Her burned face filled the screen. Slowly, she raised one finger and pointed behind him. Ethan's body went numb. He turned around slowly. The security room door was open. Darkness stretched beyond it. And somewhere in the hallway outside, Ethan heard his own voice whisper, "Run!" The basement lights died instantly. Darkness swallowed the room. Ethan ran. He sprinted through the hallways as whispers echoed around him from every direction. The corridors seemed to change shape around him. Doors appeared where walls should have been. Burned figures stood silently at the ends of hallways watching him. Every time he blinked, they were closer. Then he saw her again. His mother stood at the end of the corridor. Her burned face twisted into a smile. "You were never supposed to remember," she whispered. The lights exploded above him. Darkness consumed everything. The next morning, police arrived at Blackwood Heights after receiving several emergency calls from inside the building. When officers entered the basement security room, they found it empty. Dust covered the desks and monitors. It looked abandoned for years. One officer frowned as he examined the room. "It doesn't look like anyone's worked here in a long time," he said. Then one of the old monitors suddenly flickered to life. Camera 9A appeared on the screen. A hallway stretched into darkness. And standing motionless at the far end of it was Ethan. His face pale, his eyes hollow, staring directly into the camera. The screen filled with static, and then it went black.